So, Mr. Fitz, your response to the committee stated that, and I quote, perceived scarcity at the on sale is not caused by bots. It is primarily caused by holdbacks engineered by the ticketing company that operates the on sale process, close quote. Mr. Fitz, how serious of a problem are holdbacks, and why should consumers care about this practice?
Well, holdbacks are a concern for consumers because the consumer's asked to make a decision in a high-pressure situation, on sale for a concert, where they don't have full information. It's a very different thought if there's 80 tickets left versus 8,000. So that's holding back a key piece of information from the consumer that they could really use. And so when the report is sold out, the consumer might not understand that there's more tickets coming later, and they may have paid a different price, but the sellout may not be legitimate.
We're hearing that some of that holdbacks might be a vast minority of the tickets that go for sale. Is that true? I mean, the report also indicated that it might be as high as 50%.
Yeah, I know that I've seen media coverage like the Toronto Star, for example, that showed something much more extensive than a small percentage. So based on that report, I disagree.
Ms. Burns, one way to address holdbacks is to increase transparency around ticket availability. In your testimony, you stated that this information will, and I quote, create a clearer picture of event accessibility and help to inform fans' decisions on if and when to buy tickets. How would increasing transparency around ticket availability help consumers?
Because you would know how many tickets are available at the event, and it may inform your decision as to whether purchase at the on sale or to wait.
Thank you. And Ms. Burns, some have argued against disclosing information on ticket availability. For instance, Ticketmaster contends that disclosing this information would benefit brokers and bots by, again quoting, making it easier for them to target supply and manipulate the market. So, Ms. Burns, do you buy this argument, or do you believe that we should err on the side of more disclosure?
No, I think the argument is disingenuous in that, the purpose of the holdback is, again, to create a scarcity of supply. So, and as tickets are trickled out over time, again, it's designed to maintain prices or potentially increase prices as you near the event.
Thank you. Mr. Vaccaro, you wrote in an op-ed in 2016 entitled More Transparency in Ticket Sales and No More Bots. In that piece, you argued in favor of disclosing ticket availability and stated, and I quote, if consumers knew the truth, they would no longer be fans. So why should there be more transparency surrounding ticket availability, and what types of disclosures would be most helpful for consumers?
So I'm not an economist and I don't pretend to be, but I know that when I speak to them, they say many industries do a similar thing. They create a scarcity of supply, which effectively moves the supply curve to the left, which raises the equilibrium price. All right, so when a lot of monopolies do that, a lot of other people do that by creating that scarcity of supply. And when you do those multiple pre-sales, you only see a few amount of tickets. A lot of people don't even realize how many people are in the pre-sales, so you manipulate consumers to think there's a scarcity. They buy at higher numbers. That's why over time, ticket prices are going down. They're not going up.
And with the holdbacks issue, is it as large a number of tickets as some have reported, or is it a very slight number? Can it reach 50%?
I would say it could. Well, let me clarify that, because I think it's an important distinction to make. In most sports teams, they disclose the amount of tickets, all right? The real issue that we're really talking about here is more or less concerts, okay? So in concerts, it is amazing not only how many tickets they hold back, but there's also venues that have unmanifested seats that they sell that aren't even available to the public, that are unmanifested. So the holdback number is even higher than what insiders report, because they don't even count the non-manifested tickets as tickets that are going on sale.
So it can approach 50%?
Yes.
Thank you very much. With that, Madam Chair, I yield back.
Thank the gentleman. Chair now recognizes the gentlelady from New York, Ms. Clark, for 5 minutes.